Oh, okay. So we are live. We are live. There we go. So I'm gonna do a little bit of music while we wait for our live to pop up. Miss Angelica Robinson here in the house. How you doing, girl?
Doing all right.
All right. Well, it's showing that I am live, and I'm gonna go ahead and share this to my Black Lou Live page because I'm not live on the Black Lou Live page. Huh. Is it providing opportunities for me? Okay. All right, come on into the room. Come on into the room. We are going to let you all come on as we are getting ready to do our live at 5. Well, actually, turned to live at 6. It was supposed to be live at 5, but live at 6 now. But we're going to be talking about the top 5 stories that have been taking place in our community and in our world. Getting ready to There we go. Got a little feedback there. But talking about the top stories that have taken place here in our community and in the world, y'all, we're going to talk all about it. Jack Harlow's new album just dropped today. We're going to talk all about the Target boycott. Are you going back to Target or are you not? And a couple of other things that are impacting our city and the culture. How you doing? My name is Miss Krystal, and what's your
Okay.
name? Angelica Robinson, we want to welcome you. I thought that I could share this to my other platform, but I cannot. But let's go ahead and give an opportunity for people to come on into the room. Welcome to this space. My name is Miss Krystal, also known as Krystal Goodner, and I am the creator of Black Lou Live. I thought this live was going to pop up on that page. It's on my main page, but I'm going to go ahead and share it coming up here in a bit. But yeah, we are talking all about things that are concerning our community, our culture, and just having a little fun with you on your Friday. If you come into the chat, could you let us know where you are watching at? How you doing on this Friday? What do you have up? Any big plans for the weekend? Say hello. Be nice. Say hi. What do you have up for this weekend, Angelica? You said
And I
nothing.
like it that way. I like it that way.
You like it that way. I think that I am going to start early on a little bit of spring cleaning. I put that in my mind that I was going to do some spring cleaning for on tomorrow. So I said it out loud. So if I'm not doing it, somebody's got to check me real good. Okay.
Mm.
All right.
No,
So we are live. What'd you say? What were you going to say?
I've been decluttering. I got all this stuff.
Decluttering. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, so I'm working on spring cleaning, I guess.
All right. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Black Lou Live's top 5. And it is the top 5 stories that have been taking place here in our community, in the nation, in the world, and in the culture. If you're just joining us, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I am Miss Krystal Goodner. And
Angelica Robinson.
y'all see that Emmy Award there in the back? That's my girl, Miss Angelica Robinson. Real quick, for those people who may not be familiar with who you are, to introduce yourself.
Oh, geez. What you want me to say?
Isn't it
I
funny for somebody who's been on camera now? She's acting shy, y'all.
no, I
Girl,
am. I never liked being on camera, but no, I spent a lot of time working at news.
mm-hmm.
I stalked Crystal, and that's how we became good friends. Um, but yeah, I've had an accomplished career, and I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
find next steps.
Absolutely. And myself, I call myself the community correspondent, the cultural commentator, but many years in all forms of media. I'm talking about radio, TV, PR, web hosting. I do it all, but I love giving an opportunity for, to share stories and also amplifying your voices. And so this is our new thing. I told y'all we might be doing something together, and we are here. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, we're going to start off on a story on a remembrance on this date that still takes me back a bit, and I can't believe that it's already been 6 years. And I'm talking about that today marks 6 years since the death of Breonna Taylor, and it was March 13th, 2020, 26-year-old Louisville emergency room technician who was killed during a 2020 raid into her home, which would go on and spark protests across the nation. But one of the things that we talked about, Angelica, is that when we first heard, I remember watching the news March of that year and seeing her picture pop up. And then I remember seeing her picture on a couple of online articles, but all it said was that she was killed in a raid. And the momentum of outrage, the momentum of movement on the ground, fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor really didn't start until the summertime. And that was because it was also a time when some other people had taken to the streets to fight for justice. Talk about that.
Well, one thing that comes front of mind to me is when it comes to what happened with Breonna Taylor, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Right.
It doesn't. Um, and something else that you and I had talked about was I could not imagine being 26 years old, and
Mm.
that's where my life stopped. That's crazy.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Listen.
And you know, that's where your life stopped. And then it became a whole, you know, there were a lot of like police involved shootings and things that
Hmm.
happened that we had talked about. And there were a lot of protests behind it. And I don't know, it was a really emotional moment,
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know, when we saw all that
Hmm.
going on, you know, George Floyd, you know, all these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, Breonna Taylor, obviously, Ahmaud Arbery, you know, the whole thing, it was just emotional. And the way that people who look like us and didn't look like us were still rallying around because they were like, this is messed up.
Absolutely. And mind you, we were in the midst of a pandemic. And so you had people that was risking their lives, their health, because they believed so strongly that justice was deserved for this 26-year-old woman that was killed in her apartment due to a no-knock warrant. And this case would go on to not only allow people to say her name around the globe. It wasn't just local, it wasn't just national. This was a global movement of everyone saying her name, saying and demanding justice for Breonna Taylor. And the case also led to policy changes, including Louisville banning no knock warrants. And at the time, well, it is known as Breonna's Law.
Mm.
And still, the family is seeking justice for what happened, lifting her family up in prayer. Her mom, Tamika Palmer, she's still continuing to be an advocate and a voice, and all of the people that were part of the protest in her honor. And so we continue to say her name. Wow.
And
Can't believe
I
it's six
agree.
years.
And I think that people don't understand the fear, like not like that comes behind, you know, if you know, you have a kid, you know, you have kids, you know, I have a kid, the fear that comes behind when my kid leaves this door,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
he gonna be okay?
Right, right. And when we talk about the protest and just talk about what led after the protest, a lot of wonderful movement began to happen in race relations and the desire for people to learn more about DEI. And I know Simmons College, our city's HBCU, did some classes so people could learn racial sensitivity. And it almost felt a bit like a coming together, and then the election of 2024, and then it just kind of put us all back where we were, kind of in a worse place than we have ever been. How do you all feel 6 years later? Where do you think the city is? Do you think that we are more divided, or are we more together? I kind of know what that answer is going to be, because I really feel as if we as a nation are definitely divided. But go ahead and put your comments down there in the chat. And if you're not catching us on the live, go ahead, continue. Put your comments there in the chat, and we will definitely follow up with that conversation. Let's keep the conversation going. Angelica, talk about another somber story that we're rolling into, something that when I read the story, I had to step away for a little bit because, you know, as I was saying, being a mom myself, 16-year-old Janiyah Brown hit and killed on Cane Run Road while trying to catch the school bus. Angelica?
Um, well, I'll give you the rundown, okay, about what happened for the people that are on here that may not know what happened. Um, so 16-year-old girl, Tuesday morning, 7 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
on her way probably to school, I would imagine, got hit and killed.
Yeah, she was
Uh,
crossing Cane Run Road, which we all
yeah.
know is a very heavily trafficked road. What else were
hmm
you saying?
Yeah. Yep, that's what I was going to get to. And absolutely. And I think, what you and I talked about earlier is just like sending your kid off to school
Mm-hmm.
and then getting a notification that they didn't make it to school. Not
Mm.
only did they not make it, but they died.
Ugh.
That's
So
crazy.
so sad, and I understand that Janiyah was raised by her aunt, and she was definitely heartbroken. I know that big shout out to WOKY has did an interview with her family and shared more about this story. But something the people were saying is that this was already an intersection. This was already a area that they had complained about before. And something happened this week that was different from last week, and that was the time change. And so it was darker, it was less visibility during this time, which led to that situation. And as she was saying, police say the crash happened just before 7 a.m. near Teakwood Circle, and that is located there in the St. Denis neighborhood. Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins did a press conference demanding accountability, demanding change at this area where Janiyah was killed at. And we're just praying for the family, lifting the family up in prayer during this time, lifting up the community, lifting up. She went to Central High School, the historical Central High School, lifting up the teachers and her friends during this time. From what I'm understanding, they had grief counselors on hand, but it's just always harder when it was something that didn't have to happen, right?
Yeah, and I mean, as you've worked in news, and there are often times that people complain about a certain intersection, a certain roadway,
Right.
uh, and it kind of goes, it falls on deaf ears.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not till something really tragic happens that somebody's looking to do something about it.
Right.
I just think that it's unfortunate that a young girl, 16, hadn't even graduated college or high
Mm.
school, let alone college. And it takes for that to happen.
Yeah. Ugh, such a sad story. Hey, how are you? If you're just now joining us, you are tuned into Black Lou Live's top five. We're supposed to be at five, but we're at six. But we're talking about the top five stories that have been impacting our community, our nation, and the culture. Off to some lighter news, some news that you may be listening to coming up a little bit later today. Monica Jack Harlow drops his new album, I believe, the first album within, I think, 2 to 3 years. It's entitled Monica. And an interesting thing on this project, he's not rapping, he's singing. Jack Harlow released the album in celebration of his 28th birthday, and he says that he's a lover of Black music, and you're going to definitely hear that in this new album. What did you hear? You kind of
Well,
took a listen to it, right?
listen, he's soulful.
Mm-hmm.
Liked it.
You
I
liked it?
I might to add him to my playlist.
Uh, you tried to pull up something because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had an opportunity to
Let me
listen to his album, and I don't know if
hold
you're
on.
gonna be
I
able
can find
to.
him real quick.
Okay. Any Jack Harlow fans? Go ahead and put that down in the chat. Did you download your music? It is so funny now because that's what we say. Okay. Did you stream the music? Back in the days, we used to go out and buy the music, go to the radio store. Were you, because you're a little younger than I am, but do you remember going to the record stores and getting the
Absolutely. I
albums
got
when it first
records
came
here
out?
right now. My
Yeah.
dad DJ,
Yeah.
so records for days. Sorry, I got records for days.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. I remember that one
but
album that I remember. Huh? Go
mhm.
ahead.
I was gonna say, when you used to get the bootleg CDs on the
Oh, the burn.
corner.
Yes, because remember the mix CDs was a big thing back in the day. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You used to have the CDs, and then we
Yep.
would have these big albums with all of our CDs in there. And now just everything is just right here on your phone. But if
Hmm.
you're planning on getting that new album, Monica, go ahead and comment down there in the chat. If you've heard it already, let us know what you think. I was telling you, I said when I'm thinking about the record stores, one album in particular that was huge for me back as a teenager, Lauryn Hill. Remember when
Oh
she
yes.
released her album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, 1997? And I remember going, I think it was, what was it? FYE was the music store. And they had
Mhm.
this cardboard cutout of Lauryn Hill standing right outside of the store. And
Mhm.
that was a whole vibe, going into the store, getting an opportunity to listen to a little bit of the records with the headphones and your
Mhm.
friends, y'all touching it. I miss those moments. Don't you?
Listen,
We sounding old school, right?
and we sound real old. That's where my gray hairs come from, but it's okay. But yeah,
Yeah. Well,
my dad has crates of uh
crates.
crates,
Wow.
crates of vinyl. Um,
Wow. And I didn't know your dad used to be a DJ. I got my start doing radio. The
mhm.
Midday
That's
Diva. I
how
can
he
still do
started.
it.
Mhm.
Yes, did he? Wow.
He was DJ Jimmy Lee.
DJ Jimmy Lee. Hey, it was middays with Miss Krystal, and so I kept the name, all right?
Mhm.
Well, a lot of people are saying that, first off, that the impact of Jack Harlow has put Louisville even more on the map, kind of almost likening his fame to that of Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, putting Louisville on the map. He got a
Mhm.
little more time, little bit more ways to go, but definitely love the Louisville love and the Louisville blow up that Jack Harlow has done for
He
our
was
city.
solid. He was solid.
Mm-hmm.
It's solid.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. So congratulations, Jack Harlow. Hey, you should come on here with us and talk a little bit about the inspiration for that album. But I'm going to invite him out to St. Stephen Baptist Church because we just have the best music. He said he
We
loves
gotta bring
music.
him in.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, y'all going to tell us if y'all have had an opportunity to download his new album, Monica, if you plan on doing so. And what are you listening to right now? Angelica, what's on your playlist?
Oh, girl, I told you my jam in
Uh-huh.
the last couple weeks has been Unwritten.
Sing a little bit for us.
Girl, you don't want me to sing.
The best is still unwritten. Who sang that? Who sang that again? Natalie, was that
Natasha
Natasha?
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
love
like that.
I could play it, but you don't want me
Mm, I
because
know that's right.
now if I
I,
could sing, I'll be singing to y'all all day.
I know that's right. Listen, mine is a toss up between. First off, I'm a big audiobook person, so I'm listening to a couple audiobooks.
Mm.
But Todd Delaney, okay, I still got to get in my gospel bag when I need that inspiration. I have had his album on repeat since the fall, and it has definitely been like my secret weapon. It's definitely just a whole vibe. And so whenever I'm getting up and moving or need some inspiration or getting out there, putting my feet to the pavement, getting my walk on. It kind of gets me moving. Or I'll do Beyonce radio on Pandora or her radio.
There's
Definitely.
a couple other ones
What is it?
that I have.
Uh huh.
No Weapon.
Yes.
That was one. But also Cardi B Outside.
Oh, is that the new one from Cardi B?
Yes.
Okay.
Outside. Listen.
Come on, Cardi. Hey, I ain't mad at Cardi. She's out there getting that bag, all right?
And
After
she,
having a baby not too long ago, and she said, honey, she had that baby, got her waist snatched, broke up with her guy, went on tour, and she says, hey, one of the things that she did say was that she knows that, she did it. The thing I like about Cardi, she's just so real, okay? That's
she
what
is.
really endeared her to so many people's hearts. And she was, she had a big Instagram following before she blew up. Then she got on that show, it was a Love and Hip Hop.
Yep.
But Cardi, she's real. She said, I'm working hard right now and I'm sacrificing time with my family because I want to stack this money because she knows this isn't going to be forever, but she wants to set her family up for generations to come. And so she's doing what she got to do. And while her children are with her family. So I
Listen,
love that.
I love the interview with Gayle King when she said, Michelle Obama, when Gayle asked her, when Michelle Obama said, if they go low, you go high, she was like, I'm taking it straight to hell. And I said, well,
And I know she will. She does. She will, won't she? Yes, she will.
she will. She will.
I know some of us are talking. I know I talked a couple of weeks ago. I said, honey, I've been taking the high road so high, so long, so high, and for so long, I feel like I'm in heaven. But yeah.
They can mess around and find out.
Ooh, and I know you mean that. Hey, finding out, I want to know from you, where are you getting your fish? It is Lenten season, and on Fridays is a fun time because a lot of people can go out and get their fish. A lot of different places around the area have their fish fry Fridays. I know that Mike Lenning's is a popular place. A lot of people go to get their fish. And this is definitely a Catholic tradition, doing the fish on Fridays, but we all like to get in on it. A lot of different Catholic churches do it. I got to shout out Zion Baptist Church, though. A couple years ago, somebody brought me a fish plate. You like how I said that, fish plate. Somebody brought me a fish plate. Girl, hold on, let me go and show y'all this picture. This ain't the picture, but I'm telling you what I need to have on fish, okay? You look real close. You can see those seasonings, can't you?
Yeah, I can see the seasonings. It looks
I need my fish battered well and I need it to be seasoned. And someone brought me a fish plate. It kind of looked like that fish, tasted amazing. Zion Baptist Church, big shout out. But they had sweet potatoes and mac and cheese with that. And I think I had some greens. Oh my God, it was delicious.
I
What do
love
you
greens.
Yeah, but you're not gonna be getting any of that fish anytime soon, though, are you? She's not a fish eater,
As
guys.
long as they could fry some chicken.
You said as long as they can try fry some chicken, and just in case you didn't know, the reason that we do the fish fry during this time, well, Fish Fridays during this time, again, it's Lent season. This is making our way up to Easter Sunday. You said Easter is April 3rd this year?
The 5th. Mm-hmm.
The 5th. And so the tradition came into play because centuries ago, meat like beef, pork, and chicken were considered a celebratory food. And so avoiding it on Fridays was a way to practice discipline and honor the sacrifice of Christ. So if you got some fish today, you were doing your fast. Now, a lot of people are still on that Daniel fast. Have you ever done a Daniel fast?
Mm-mm.
No? Have you given up anything during Lent?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. What have you given up?
Let's see. I've given up drinking during a fast.
Mm-hmm.
Um I've given up uh I gave up steak but not like chicken.
Okay.
Um
That's pretty good. I mean, she's got a whole list going. Have you all given up anything during the Lent season? Go ahead and put that down there in the chat.
mhm.
I haven't given up. I ain't gave up nothing, but I added more. Say more. Yeah, more time with God. No, that's what you can do. Give up or give more.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So let us know. Have you given up anything during the Lent season? And also, what are your favorite places for fish? Maddie's Kitchen there in St. Stephen, they held a fish fry. They were doing fish dinners today. And Honey Maddie's Kitchen, they can throw down. And so make sure you go ahead and support that initiative. But let us know who has the best fish in the city. Where do you like to get your fish on Fridays? Go ahead and put that information down in the chat. So we have made it to the fifth story. Okay, that was the fourth story. And just in case you're just now tuning in, you are tuned in to Black Lou Live's top five, the top five stories that are impacting us here locally in our communities, cultural stories, and just news and information you can use, or maybe not, but hopefully entertained by. The first story, Breonna Taylor, the death anniversary of Breonna Taylor. Number two, 16-year-old Janiyah Brown hit and killed on Cane Run Road. Then we had Jack Harlow drops his new album, Monica. And number four, Lent season and Louisville fish fries. Want to know what is your favorite place to get your fish? And this one right here is probably why a lot of y'all came here to continue to talk about all of this commotion about Target. One of the most shared stories. I've been getting friend requests left and right since I shared and posted that story on Wednesday. It has been crazy, and everyone wants to sound off about it. I haven't been showing my pictures. There we go. And I know that does not look like Jamal Bryan. Thanks. Yeah. Anyways, but so this next story has Black America arguing almost like they do in the group family chat. Talk about a nation divided. And basically the gist of the story, after a year-long boycott of Target, one major leader, Pastor Jamal Bryant, he did a press conference on Wednesday and featured former Ohio Senator Nina Carpenter and activist leader Tamika Mallory. They all joined together in Washington, D.C. They talked about the Target boycott. And Jamal Bryant said that he felt as if it was a successful boycott and that the boycott was over. He said that they had asked Target to, according to Bryant, organizers made four major demands, and he says three of those goals have now been achieved. Target has committed to investing $2 billion in Black communities, along with an additional $100 million for organizations serving them. And the company has also agreed to partner with historically Black colleges and universities, but they have not made any public statements about denouncing DEI. Denouncing their rollback of DEI or just trying to come back into the fold. And Bryant even went so far as to say that this Target fast, because it started out as just it was supposed to be a 40-day fast. Nobody, knew it was going to go on for a year. And I know a lot of people were kind of like, okay, can we go now? Are we not going? What's the status on this fast thing? But he is saying that this has been the most successful boycott in 70 years and likened it to the success of the Montgomery bus boycott. So, Target has talked about, they cited numbers of how, their numbers had been down and their stock had gone down since, in the years since the boycott has happened. But a lot of people, some other people were saying that this boycott, which originated in Minneapolis, they're saying, no, we didn't get the memo. The boycott is still on. And you can't speak for everybody because, again, they feel as if Target has not made any real concessions or policy changes related to diversity initiatives. I know that was a mouthful. I just wanted to get it all out. Angelica, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to start with the family group chat.
Okay.
Because family group chats go in.
Yeah. I know mine does.
Listen, but when it comes to Target, I was very disappointed in them because that was one of the places, like we had talked about earlier, that had representation of people that look like us. And so when they, had to deal with or bought into the DEI thing, I was like, what's going on around here?
Yeah.
That's where I buy my Black Santa Claus from.
Right. You talk about that. We talked about that off air, but that's something that means a lot to us. Like when we can find Black Christmas decor, uh, during the holiday season, honey, that makes you excited because, like anything, anybody likes to see things that look like them, that represent them, who they are, and me growing up back then, it was non-existent. But honey, when I found me a black Santa, oh, I grabbed that thing. I wouldn't care what it cost, but definitely
I don't
wanted
care
that
if it's a
representation in my
bug,
family, in my house.
a thing over the tree, like,
Yeah.
and any person that, like, whether it's a doctor, dentist, whatever, I always look for black ones because I want my son to know he can do that too.
I love that. I love that. Well, definitely Target felt as if they was a cousin. And if you remember, it was during the 2020 protest that Target stepped up to the plate and said that they were going to strengthen their DEI initiatives. They
Mm,
had pledged so much money to Black organizations, being
mm,
part of all those different companies that came around during that kumbaya time that happened in 2020. And a lot of our feelings were hurt when they were among the first companies to say that they were going to dissolve their DEI practices. And of course, that move was made at the pressuring from this administration, which basically, put them on notice that it is illegal and you've got to disband. And Target, you know, went straight to the news announcing that they would be dissolving it. And all of us shoppers were like, what? And then
mm.
our girl Tabitha Brown, you know what I'm saying? We were so proud of Tab and all
Right.
the
And they
other
was
Black entrepreneurs who had their items there
and
in
they were
Target.
promoting it.
Mm-hmm.
Target was promoting it. And then it was
Absolutely. Black
we're just
History Month, honey, they had those shelves and just the cutest items. And so, here we are a year later, and I can proudly stand and say that I I held out for an entire year. And it wasn't until like a couple weeks ago I was like, it seems like it's about the same time. I'm wondering what the status of this boycott is. And then, they had this press conference. But the big question was, are you returning to Target? I asked the question on my page. I know a lot of people were saying, some people said yes, because it was one of their favorite stores and they felt as if we stood together, and that it wasn't supposed to be forever. But some people say that they're going to go back to Target. Then you've got other people saying absolutely not. I've learned to live a year without Target. I don't need them anymore. What are your thoughts?
uh, I can live without Target.
Mm-hmm.
It's but I could live without Target. I don't want to go to Walmart.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But
Walmart be having some. I've been following some people on TikTok, and Walmart has really been stepping up their clothing game, though.
yeah, they
So
have. They have.
yeah,
But no, I mean, I can't. I can't rock
no,
with it. I
yeah.
can't.
It feels, because I guess for me at first I was excited, but then hearing the other side of the people who actually in Minnesota, who stated that that's where the protest began, and for them saying no, because there have been a group of people who every Saturday, I believe, since the protests began last year, stand outside of the store and picket the store, basically letting people know don't go into Target, and sharing why, for a full year committed to that process. And
Mm.
they're like, no, we not, no, the boycott is still on. And so that kind of changed it for me, because at first I was like, oh, cool, I can go to Target on Saturday. But still having those hurt feelings, though, they didn't have to go public if they wanted to disband their DEI, but they made a choice to go public. And it just kind of felt like betrayal.
Hmm.
Betrayal stings, right?
Absolutely. It does.
Right. All right. So let us know there in the chat, Angelica. I'm losing it. Let us know there in the chat if you will be returning to Target, or are you saying, hey, I've gone a year without that store. I've, found other places to spend my money. I'm gonna be fine. Me and my family, the boycott is still on. No judgment here, though. This is a no judgment zone. All right. Whatever it is you decide to do, that's up to you and your family and your dollars. Hey, that is our time. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on Black Lou Lives at Top 5. Do me a favor, follow the page. Give me likes, some shares. I appreciate everyone that has been showing mad love to this platform. Hey, I am back. Candid Conversations, Black Lou Live. I am just getting started, so prepare for more conversations. And I absolutely loved doing it with you, Miss Angelica.
Well, you listen, you guide me. I'm just here.
She said, I'm just here, y'all. And I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're here as well. Hey, have a wonderful weekend. Again, don't forget to please like, share, subscribe. I'm on YouTube also. Like, share, subscribe. And any story ideas, you can email me at info@blacklulive.com. Info@blacklulive.com. Doing articles right now. We're going to start doing more live things. And big shout outs to my brother, LaRon Anderson. He is the visionary behind Black Indie Live, which birthed my vision, Black Lou Live, more than 150,000 followers. It's a full community, people coming together, sharing news, entertainment, information, inspiration. And that's what I'm hoping that this platform will grow to, but I can only do it with you. Anything else to say, sis, before we go?
Well, I think that you're all of the things that you were trying to inspire out of people. So,
Oh, you're so nice. All right, I'll let you go ahead and go ahead and hug that Emmy Award. Drink some more of that tea, and you're going to download the rest of that Harlow album.
yes, I am.
All right, all
Listen to
right.
the rest of it. You sound real soulful, so I'm gonna find it.
I know that's right. Hey, you all, thank you so much for joining us. Until next week, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Talk to you soon.